welcome to another edition of Dashawns2cents Part 3. You know who my guest is, Rick Knox, the PWG God, which is on the message boards. How do you like the moniker, God of PWG?
I think it's a little overextending, but hey, I'll take it.
There's a weird thing I was reading on a review of Tremendous, I think 3. You're like the Deus Ex, like the thing that they add to the plot to make it convenient when you knock the Young Bucks off the ladder.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like D-A-U-S.
Yeah, do a machine.
Yeah, that one.
It's basically a French word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a French term, I should say. Yeah, it's kind of.
That led me to Planet of the Apes. Don't ask me why. Rick Knox to Planet of the Apes. Only time this ever happened. Rick Knox.
Oh, it's probably not the only time it's happened.
It was Rick Knox, and they used that for the Planet of the Apes movie, which. Don't see that. If you ever seen Mark Wahlberg, that was bad way.
You know, I never did get to see the newer one. It was good?
No, the newer one's good. The one from 01 is not good.
Right, okay.
And that VHS.
I don't think I saw that one.
No one saw it. It did good in box office. Critics hated it.
Yeah, I know that. I'm a fan of the old ones. You know, I like the old ones.
I really loved the first Charlton Heston. That was an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Not a fan of the older movies, but that one was good.
The second one was good. Beneath the Planet of the Apes, I think it was, with the radioactive mutants and all that. Yeah.
First Planet Apes talk here. So let's go to where is
you know, we really get off on tangents here.
Yeah,
let's reel this back in here.
Okay, this episode we dedicate to Young Bucks and Cheers from Hollywood, which started anyway. How did your show anyway start? That's what first came, like showcases and stuff.
Yeah, even before then, it was basically the same group that was known as New Japan USA, and
we had dojo shows.
Yeah, with the Inokis. Basically, the Inoki family set up a facility out here in California in the early 2000s with the means of producing some American talent that would be used over in New Japan. And occasionally they would send some of their stars out here to appear for us, stuff like that. So we kind of had a nice working relationship with them, and this would have been Dave Marquez's project at the time. So Dave was basically working directly with Simon Inoki and the Inoki family, and just kind of fell in with it through them. I had known Dave since working with him on the UPW TV show, stuff like that. So I think it was more the wrestlers themselves who kind of got me in there. This would have been guys like the Havana Pit Bulls, Rocky Romero and Ricky Reyes, Eric Matlock, Samoa Joe. I think they're the ones who kind of pulled for me to get in with that group. And just been with them ever since. So when we became affiliated with NWA, it was nothing really changed at the time. And then we started doing NWA Showcase, and then that kind of went off the air, and now we're back with Hollywood Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and the NWA affiliation.
Going about 6 years now on TV? About 4 or 5
I think about 4.
4 years,
I think about 4 years, I guess.
So how do you like being on TV now, like refereeing the big matches on TV? You're usually just brought out for the big matches.
Well, the thing that's unique about the shows, we tend to have a lot of referees on the Hollywood show.
Yeah,
and we have a good crew of referees out here in Southern California. So, you know, a lot of guys want to come and do the shows for the TV exposure, stuff like that. So now Hollywood is a promotion where I actually do have a little control over the booking and promotion as far as who referees are scheduled for which match. So we try our best to make sure that all the referees who show up for these shows do get a little bit of airtime. We can't always guarantee it, but we try. It's hard when you're doing 17, 18 matches per taping and you've got 7 referees. You know, someone's going to get shorted. But we try to get everybody a little bit of exposure there. And as a result, I limit myself to just maybe 1 or 2 matches, a couple of matches per taping.
How was it? You've been there the whole time. How was it when the show started to it is now at the Pavilion? How has it changed?
Oddly enough, not a lot has really changed, other than I think the mood and the tone behind the scenes is a lot more relaxed than it used to be. The first year or so, it was very tense backstage. It was very hectic. There was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of directions being thrown about, a lot of arguing.
I was watching Boxerfornia, a lot of mistakes.
Well, then that doesn't change too much. I mean, it does here and there. But, you know, overall, that's the one thing that's tended to change. You see a lot of people are looser backstage. It's a more friendlier environment, and a lot more of laid backness, and hey, if this doesn't go right, that's fine, we'll fix it later. You know, not the big panic attack that it was originally. After you've done it a few years, you realize what's important to freak out about, what's not important.
You think it's better that they've gone from doing the 8-hour tapings in Glendale to now like the 2-hour, 3-hour at the Pavilion?
There's pluses and negatives to it. The pluses are it keeps the crowds fresh, it keeps it a little more interesting, it keeps the people coming back.
The new Oxnard crowd, which is different.
Yeah, and the facility is awesome. I mean, we all love the venue. The downside of it is now we're looking at a trip to Oxnard every 2 weeks, which, if you can tell, not all of us can do. So we tend to not do as many. Now suddenly our big crew of referees has shrunk down. There's maybe 2 or 3 referees per taping now. And that's just scheduling. We can't always make it, but we make it work.
How was the hectic days in the studios? You missed those days? Like, Glendale was a good studio.
I kind of do miss those days, I must admit. Sorry, that was Patrick calling me. I'll get
Patrick Hernandez.
Patrick Hernandez.
Yeah, good referee.
He's probably freaking out about something. We'll find out. But I'm sorry, what was the question there?
Like, how were those hectic days, like getting there 11, like the big taping days for Hollywood?
You know, there was an excitement to it when we were doing those initial tapings at like the Galaxy Theater. You know, had to be there real early in the day. There was an excitement that came with it. Oh, it's a big show, it's a TV taping, we got a lot of out-of-towners coming in, a big media thing. And the freshness of that kind of wore off after a while, just like it does with anything. And then suddenly you realize, I don't need to be here by 11, I don't need to be here by 1, I don't need to be here till 3 or 4 or 5, you know. And it just tends to kind of wear on you like that. But that's why now, so it's a lot more loose, and you can actually show up, you know, not 5-6 hours in advance and not cause a breakdown or heart attack on Dave's part or someone's part. Which Dave is phenomenal, by the way. I mean, to bring up what Dave has done here for Southern California Wrestling is, no matter what I say, it's an understatement, because he has done an awful lot to get all of us exposure, to get us put on the air. No one knows, even I don't know what he has to put up with behind the scenes to keep us on the air, to keep his show running consistently.
4 years is good.
It is. I mean, you know, we get a lot of flack because someone will say, hey man, you guys showed repeat episodes 2 weeks in a row, and it's happened a bit lately, I know.
So Match TV, are they still showing Match TV? As far as I know, they didn't belt the Match TV title.
Yeah, as far as I know, Match TV is still going strong.
Yeah,
but, you know, so we cut them some slack. Hey, if it was a rerun from the week before, you know what? Oh well, get over it. Hey, next week will be a better show, you know. But literally, Dave is very passionate about wrestling. He's very passionate about what he does and what we all do. And I think he gets a lot of undue criticism because maybe he did something that didn't work or was unpopular. But we all owe a lot to Dave and everything that he's brought to us here in Southern California.
So, blinking and stuff. That happens. Doing interview shows, always Blake's.
We jump around, man. I'm telling you.
So let's talk about the Young Bucks and how that's evolved. The big thing you're known for across the country, and the hard wrestle fans, the Young Bucks, Rick Knox. How did it all start?
It started, I think it was just a whim, just a spot that we wanted to do in a match where I clotheslined them. You know, I think this would have been going back to one of the early DDT4s, the megaphone with Paul London, and
I saw it,
and basically
Rick Knox is a beast.
Matt slapped me so hard I had like a 5 fingerprint bruise on my face.
It was a pin slap.
And you know, when I whipped him and came back with the double clothesline, or they whipped me, I should say, that, you know, the crowd just blew up, and at that moment we kind of realized, you know, we kind of got something cool here. So the next show we kind of threw in another like super kick spot or something, you know. And then after a while, I mean, you know, it took us a couple of years of kind of going back and forth doing these little super kick spots, them kicking me, I kicked them, they hit me, I clotheslined them. And to where it all blew up at 3 minutes 3 with the ladder match, and then of course we had the match.
I was at Bola, man, teaming with Generico and Steen,
Yeah, that was a dream come true. I mean,
Generico, one of the best tag teams in the past 10 years.
I still can't believe it. I wake up and go, wow, was I really tag team partners with Kevin Steen and El Generico?
Sami Zayn now.
Sami Zayn, it's just awesome. But you know, everything that got me popular, I should say, or that kind of put me over as far as that whole angle with the Young Bucks, I owe it all to them. I really do. I mean, everything we did was always their idea. I never once approached a wrestler, whether it was the Bucks or anyone, and say, hey, do you mind if I clothesline you in this match? I'm never going to do that.
How did that ladder spot come about, and how did that die when he said, no, Smasher? That was one of the most awesome moments. I watched it again, like, damn. I think Steen had a hurt tag. Steen was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that was actually kind of cool because, you know, they wanted me involved, and we kind of figured, how do we build this thing up to a good finale? We know it was kind of, I think it was Nick's idea for me to push them off the ladder, you know. But their whole deal was, okay, well now once we bump off the ladder and then the Smash Brothers dive on us, how do we get them back in the ring to climb up the ladder? And I kind of said, well, I don't know how good it'll look, but what if after you guys fall out?
The timer was off, wasn't started, so For 15, let's go back to your story. Sorry.
Okay, no.
You would wonder why I was looking at the phone. The timer didn't. I didn't start the timer. We were only going for like 5 minutes, so I just put up 15.
No worries, we'll be all right.
Yeah. If that thing explodes, I got to pitch people back.
So just kind of I mean, so it was Nick's idea, I believe, for me to push them off the ladder. And I said, yeah, that's fine, I can do it, not a problem. But then they were struggling on how to get the Smash Brothers back into the ring after they would do the dive on them to climb the ladder and get the belts. And I said, well, let's have them not leave the ring. I go, consider this. I know I don't know how good it's going to look, but what if after you guys topple out, I hit the ropes and dive out on you? And I remember Nick was like, oh my god, you guys, this is it, we got it. So, we tweaked it a little bit or whatever, and it came off real good. It did.
What'd you feel like doing that dive? Was you nervous, like jumping over?
Not really.
It was adrenaline, like.
Yeah, and people say, did it hurt or anything like that? It felt like I landed in a big beanbag. I mean, they were so cautious. Everything that I've done with the Young Bucks, they've protected me.
What about that 450?
The 450, I felt nothing. I literally felt nothing. They handled that perfectly. I mean, Nick's a pro, Matt's a pro. Everything they've done.
See, you faded me. You weren't knocked out. You faded me.
No,
you faded me.
yeah.
See, you faded me. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's good.
Wrestlers and referees are good. I fade people not. That's what the art of wrestling is.
It really is. I mean, especially today, you got to consider, we all know it's a work.
Yeah,
everybody knows it's a work. So if you can still get people to suspend that belief and you think, wow, was that planned or not?
Yeah.
Hey, then you did good. And but yeah, I mean, those guys are protecting me. Adam Pierce, every time I've probably been pile driven by Adam dozens of times, and he's protected me every time. Never been hurt. The package pile driver from Kevin Steen didn't feel a thing. I don't think. Anytime I've gotten hurt was either an accident. It was never because of a planned move that was done on me. I've always been
F5
protected.
Willie Mack.
The F5 on Willie Mack was not planned. The bump was planned, but I was in bad position. He threw him on me. I was not supposed to be there.
There was the "You Kill Knox" chance.
Yeah, and at the time, it knocked the wind out of me for a second. I was like, oh, I was okay. About 2 days later, the whole left side of my torso bruised up horribly. I couldn't even get out of bed. For about a week, I was laid up after that.
One time I was anxious and stuff. I was on my bed. We had like bunk bed, and I rolled off it through a chair, through a wooden chair. Broke the one wooden chair. On my back was like bruised the whole time. So like bump I was kind of taken. That was like damn. Going through a chair freaking hurts. It was only like 10 feet, and it's like down. Through a chair, like imagine,
not good. I've only been through a table once, and it was many years ago, and it was actually.
I wasn't trying to wrestle. I just was being stupid. I just rolled out of bed and fell down onto a wooden chair.
I got thrown. I was doing a hardcore match with Public Enemy and the Head Shrinkers, and Rikishi of all guys threw me through a table that was set up outside the ring, and it was not a planned spot. It was literally, hey ref, you're going through. Oh, all right, here we go, bam. And that was fine, it didn't hurt, but it was in a baseball stadium, so at least I had grass underneath the table, so that was better than concrete. But
so let's see what questions we haven't answered yet. Let's see. Favorite guys to ref. I know the Young Bucks, DNR. There's some guys that people might not expect are your favorite guys to ref.
Wow. There's it's kind of hard to say. I pretty much.
You've refed mostly everybody else?
Well, for the most part. I mean, I'll still get a surprise when someone will tell me, you've never refereed one of my matches. And I think Thunder Kitty recently said something that I had never refereed any of her matches. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. All these years, I've never been your ref. Thankfully that they keep track, because I can't always remember that stuff. But, as far as guys, I generally like working with lucha guys in singles matches. I'm not a big fan of working lucha tag matches because they tend to just go off on a tangent, do their own thing, and pretty much disregard whatever the referee says.
Lucha match from AWS was crazy.
Oh, the one from with the three-way one? Yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. I was not the referee for that, but I watched it from ringside. And,
best lucha match I've seen.
Yeah, it was really good. It was awesome. But I love, there's I could literally name just about anyone in PWG. I love working with all those guys. I love working with everyone at AWS. There's very few who I could say I don't want to be in the ring with, and I'd have to really think hard about it, who that would be. So don't really have a good answer for you on that one. I'm sorry.
So one good thing I thought of to end it up good. We'll promote next week's AWS show. Big show, end the year.
End year 28th, AWS. Looking forward to it.
Let's get the card. Where's the card? Oh, probably in here. I'm chewing licorice over here. Which he bought. Red Vine's first guest about buying something that's pretty good.
That's right. We come bearing gifts.
Yeah, it was the holiday season. It was the holiday season. Whenever this would be up, because Drew was pretty busy when he read it stuff.
Hey, we live in the moment, and right now it's 5 days before Christmas. So.
Yeah, it is. So let's see what we got. No more presents for Christmas. If you haven't gone to AWS, you got to go. They got ring sizes still available, people.
AWS is an awesome promotion. It really is. I mean, not to keep tooting horns, but you're not going to find too many people more passionate about the wrestling scene here in Southern California than Bart. He definitely is a fans promoter. If there's a match you want to see or a wrestler you want to see, tell him, approach him. He will actually probably make it happen.
So let's go through the card. Let's get Rick Knox's view on it. First preview.
Awesome.
Leah, what is it? How do you pronounce it, Dan?
Malia Hosaka versus Gitana Vera. Yeah. Don't know who Malia Hosaka is.
WCW retired. She works for WCW 97, 98.
Oh really? Okay, then I think I actually might know who it is.
Yeah, she was like in the cruiserweight women's.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a little bit WWE, not much. Been retired for a few years.
And she's working Kitana, who is a good friend of mine, another local girl here who we all love. That'll be pretty good because Kitana's she can lay him in there.
The most underrated, I think, woman in here.
She really is. She's been training a long time, and I did not know that match was on the card. I'm looking forward to that.
It was supposed to be Karai, but then they changed it. Things changed when it was first announced. Tyler Bateman versus SoCal Crazy. One guy has improved, I think, this year. Given the spotlight of Santino's, the spotlight of AWS. Bateman's really improved. What are your thoughts on Bateman? I think he's really...
I love Tyler Bateman. Yeah. I really do. I first started working with him several years back up in Newhall with like Epic War. And I think even Golden State Championship Wrestling, we brought him down from Northern Cal a bit to work those matches. Admittedly, we have a lot in common. He's an old school punk, just like I am, so we have that music connection. But we're very good friends, and I've always been very high on him. Most respectful guy in the locker room. I mean, you wouldn't know it by his demeanor in the ring. He's kind of an ass in the ring.
First show I went to, I saw him in like little locker room they had, and he was like back and forth with that little bandana over. Who the fuck is that? Then 2 years later, I'm shaking his hand. He's calling me sir. Like, he's not a great guy.
He's so respectful. I mean, and he's such a nice guy.
And prayers out to Race, who's recovering from a bit bad fever. So prayers out to her.
Yes.
Prayers. Her,
yeah, I saw that she had posted that on Facebook.
Hope he's able to make this show. We'll see if she's better by then. Yeah.
You had mentioned Karai, who's not going to be at this show. I just want to give out a shout out to her too because she paid me a very nice compliment at one of the last AWS shows that resonated with me. In fact, I even had to go tell my wife later that night that this girl who I had. When she found out that I was going to be refereeing her match that night, jumped into a dance and got all happy. And I was like, wow, what's that all about? She goes, you don't understand. You just made, my trifecta weekend perfect. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, I got to meet Sabu. I got to run an angle with Daphne. I got Rick Knox to referee my match.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. I mean, it's tearing me up just to even recount the story.
It was like a mistake, it was like...
luck, right? Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. That match was just changed because Candice wasn't supposed to be in there. They changed it a little bit. Someone no-showed and it was changed the last minute because I think Candice couldn't make it.
I think you're right.
It was Karai and it was a pretty good match. Yeah. Well, that's one thing Bart does. Women's wrestling is really good and some people don't respect it. He respects it. Women's tournament was outstanding.
Women's tournament was awesome.
Mephisto versus Von Eerie. That's the match to check out when it comes on DVD. Best women's match I've seen live.
Yeah, and
a women's match got me into indie wrestling. Tara Calloway versus Winter.
Nice.
Wild titles. That's interesting. Little tip about me. Yeah, a women's match got me into wrestling.
Yeah, it's nice to see because women's wrestling kind of had the knack of not being very good, and actually we got a lot of strong female competitors now. So women's wrestling's on the upswing. You got Shimmer, you got other promotions that focus just on that. It's
the match it's a dream match for people. Drake Younger. This show put him over is great. Him versus Lil Cholo is going to be. That's going to be.
Drake Younger and Cholo. I'm hoping I get selected to officiate that match. I've known Cholo for a long time, almost since I started. Drake Younger, I've only known for I guess maybe a year and a half, 2 years now since he's been coming here to SoCal. Another guy who I can't say enough good things about. The passion he brings, just the fire he brings to the locker room, just. you know if Drake's there, not only are you going to get a hell of a match, you're going to have a good time.
They're a great card,
so cool.
Him versus Virgil Flynn, Hood Slam.
Man, and I did that happen?
It happened. Drake Gunner versus Virgil Flynn, Hood Slam. It's on YouTube now.
I got to check that out.
I'll send you the link. It's on YouTube.
Because I haven't worked with Virgil Flynn, but I've heard nothing but good things about him, and I'd like to see that.
Chupi might get him into AWS. You might see him next year.
There you go.
Yeah. He's always listening to the guy. I always message him. I hope,
I bet he'll go.
Vic Luna was a guy that listened to me. I hope Bart will be in relationship with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have Bandido, P.P. Ray. They've been having great matches all year.
I love the Bandidos. Those are another underrated team. I mean, I know that you really shouldn't say they're underrated considering they've been champions here and champions there, but they don't get the respect they deserve. I think they deserve to be mentioned as the premier team in SoCal, if not the country.
I know the Young Bucks
get
all the praise. P.P. Ray's number 2, but number 3, Bandidos are right there.
Oh, they're right there. And in fact, I think if you mentioned P.P. Ray maybe being ranked or a notch above them, and that would probably just be because the
overness of
that. Exactly. Just the popular of their characters, the fact that they're smaller yet they have these big insane matches, so to speak, might be a little bit that sets them apart.
Number 2 to put in the ranks, Von Dooms and Rockness. Can't forget those two. Those two are some of the Italians.
Yeah, absolutely. Rockness kind of had a knock on them that they lost their momentum. They were kind of looked like these are the guys who are going to be the PWG champs, and it didn't work out, and they kind of lost DDT for a couple years. So it seems like in PWG at least, they need to get back on track, but everywhere else they're still obviously running strong.
This match should be great. We already talked about him in the Never part. Ricky Mandel versus a guy that's had a breakout year. I really turned his character, really refreshed him. A new restart, new direction. Ryan Taylor, Ryan Taylor, Ricky Mandel.
Ryan Taylor's another one of my favorite guys here in SoCal. Another good friend of mine. Kings fan.
Should be in WWE, man.
Oh yeah,
it should be, man.
It should be getting looked at.
There's nothing but good things about him.
No, Ryan's awesome, and him and Mandel, I'm wondering how the dynamic of that's going to be as far as kind of like heel sort of thing. Yeah. But they're both tremendous talents, and I have no question they'll make it work.
Great lightweight clash. El Chupacabra versus Chris Cadillac.
Yeah.
That's going to be...
Now, the last show kind of led up to this. After Chupacabra won the belt from Ridiculoso, during intermission, I should say, Cadillac appeared, who hadn't been seen in AWS in like half a year or something like that, saying, where's my shot? And big fight ensues, pull apart and all that. I've heard that they've wrestled each other before up north. And
ATW, that was awesome.
Place down, so this will be hot. It'll be hot.
Then we have Ridiculoso and Mariachi Loco versus Jake Cabrera and Leo Blaze. 3 guys have been really good. Leo Blaze, I think next year's big. All these guys are standouts.
Oh, they really are. Shay's another one we had mentioned earlier. Guys who stepped up this year. Shay should be on the list, and so should Leo. Fresh to Death was an awesome team. The Revolution with Shay and
once Rose went down. Leo really stepped up and really. He could have went down with him, but he went and got up.
Absolutely, he did, and that's what you got to do. If you got a partner who goes down, you don't want to be forgotten. So boom, he stepped it up. Yeah, awesome job. Yeah, that'll be good.
Well, Mariachi Loco, have you heard of him? Seen him?
Heard of him, but don't really know much about him. Haven't seen him.
Seen Santino's good debut. Then we got a match that's been seen for years. Candice LeRae versus Christine O'Leary, no DQ again. Women's title.
This will be pretty good too as well. The last time Candice was in a no DQ match, it got pretty harsh and bloody.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate something like that really happening again this time, but you never know. But Christina's another one. These two story goes back quite a ways, and both of them should really be seen on a bigger scale, nationwide scale. I know Christina's kind of flirted with TNA and kind of been in and out, been down in Mexico and stuff like that. Just a matter of time, I think, till both these women are on a national or international scale, weekly TV show, basically.
And ABS is scheduling events until March, so you can get your schedule now. And the big main event for their shows, guys that have been PWG guys, good. Drake Younger and Willie Mack are teaming up to face Brian Cage and Tyler Bateman. This will be not in that show, but it'll be January the 25th. How's that match? That's the main event. That's gonna be
pretty sick. Yeah.
When I heard about that, I almost fell out of the damn chair, Bart. That's fucking.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Never you said fan promoting that fan match.
Exactly. Give the fans what they want, and Bart will do it. Bart will do it.
Then we got Candice LeRae, Cole Pistol, Hannah Huntress, aka Saturine from Chikara, versus Ray's, Hudson Envy, and Nicole Savoy.
Now, see, there you go. Again, more women.
Yeah.
That's something that we tend to lack here in a lot of
You need to watch Battleground. Nicole Savoy, Brittany Wonder versus Ray's three-way. They got a standing ovation from the locker room Battleground, which is awesome to see.
There's no better critic than your peers. So.
Yeah, so thank you for being on the show, man. Anything you want to plug, like Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I launched on Twitter recently, but haven't really done much with it, so just be patient. I'll start getting better and being on Twitter a little more. I think that's Patrick again calling me, but no, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sean, for doing this.
When did you first hear about Dashawns2cents and stuff? Yeah. How was it?
You know what? I remember seeing the name popping up on Facebook all the time, and then you approaching me at the shows to want to do interviews. Once I knew who you were and connected the two, suddenly like, oh, you saw it everywhere. So,
yeah, it's like.
Yeah, I can't really pinpoint exactly where the first time was that I had heard of it, but like we said earlier, we've been trying to do this for a long time.
It's been a great year, man.
We did a quick little one at the Q Pro show.
You were part of the three. Hudson and Cage, you're part of the three, but now you got your own video. Not slam doing for everybody else.
Awesome.
But the end, 2013, a great year. If it's 2014 when this is out, 2013 was the best year of my life. Great wrestling. 2014 is a great year for me and you. Absolutely. PWG, AWS, everybody else. And Sparky says hi on Facebook.
Awesome.
Sparky Ballard, great guy.
Very awesome dude.
Yeah, so
one of the best referees out there.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Sean.
Peace.